Alright, so we're going to be trying to do the engineer on Hell on Earth solo, on Sewers in particular, because almost every other map is kind of boring and it's kind of too easy if you're just going to kite around. So I'm going to be showcasing what I think the engineer can do on a solo Hell on Earth run. I'm going to be trying to avoid using the Vulcan because the Vulcan is kind of overpowered and trivializes everything. Along the way, I'll try to explain like why I'm making certain decisions within the game, why I'm killing or prioritizing certain threats over others, why so on and so forth. But do pardon me, I'm not very good at playing and talking at the same time. I'm not a very good multitasker, but I'll do try my best to elucidate a little bit on all those choices. Right, so for the operational budget, you always want to maximize this to the most of your capacity. I do find that the engineer tends to be more offensive role. He doesn't really need the early cash. That being said, you can probably opt for something like, instead of the tier 3 armor, you can swap this out and go for like a tier 2 bone breaker. You don't need to use fletched rounds like I did. It's arguably not the most meta. I think like I can't remember. I think explosive rounds or armor piercing. I think explosive rounds are available on it, you probably want to go for that instead, but this is just one of those options to maximize the operational budget, so I can exchange for a higher value weapon on round 2. Right, so, and obviously for the start, you want multi-tool, the engineer is going to regenerate this, he's going to be very good for basically unlocking all your zip lines and stuff. Right, so let's get ahead and go into it. Right, zip lines and turrets. Okay, let's see. I am not in my holdout spot that I want to, but close by. Sewers isn't a huge map anyway. Right, so this is pretty much where you want to be camping. As always, scout out where your nearest trader is going to be. It's on the far side there. Gonna get this zip line or so. Turret. Bunch of enemies coming from the left. Go ahead and start moving them from the picture. The good thing about this weapon is that you have plenty of ammo to go around. You land your headshots well, that is. Ow. The turret's gonna be dealing with like all the trash that's like the clots and stuff from there. Siren's kind of resistant to the cut damage, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm just gonna burst her down in the secondary. Same thing, one more here. Right. Oops. Not see the guy coming. I do have my skills ready when I want to. Health still okay, armor still okay, but you know what, since we are here, let's just get it off once we are use our ability, because it's basically free. You do regenerate your abilities in between waves alongside your health when you visit the trader. So it's always good to use this to save a little bit of ammo, get a bit more resources back. So you can see I'm deliberately holding on to my skill. I'm not firing off on the last few rounds because I do have damage resistance during the wave. Right. Little bit of a tight spot. Alright, so this is going to be my escape route whenever I'm in a pinch. You want to hit here, but try not to kill too many things, because if there's like enough Zeds left on the map, or like enough on the spawn counter, they can and they will spawn where you're trying to run to, so that can be pretty dangerous. But otherwise, generally speaking, you can hold them off here and fight for a little bit, but not too many, especially not when you're still in the early part of the wave.
They have it coming don't they?
Right, and there we go. This is the first wave done and dusted. Okay, so I do get my multi-tool regenerating from the engineer utility skills, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop more stuff for me to use later. Right, so what I'm gonna do for the second wave is I'm gonna transition over to the door locks. I probably don't need to upgrade this fully. We're gonna leave that at 1 out of 4. I'm just gonna go straight for a better weapon for now. So I'm a personal fan. My personal fan favorite. I do like the Ifrit, and I do have one equipped with the barrel mod for the ammo efficiency. This is, I think, is really good. It's really strong, especially on the early game, and it's pretty cheap. It's only 220 dosh more expensive than the base version. So if you do have the op cap budget for it and you sell off your starting weapon, you can just easily afford this, and I can even afford upgrade armor on the side. Do I really need as a third syringe? You know, I'm $5 short. Don't forget you can pop your destroyables on the map, like the radar dish. Gives you $15 in biosteel. Cameras gives you electrical parts or scrap metal and $5. But yeah, you can get those on the map for just a bit of bonus cash, and I think I'll just hold off with $1 for now. Right, we don't need ammo on the primary weapon because it's round 2, like you don't need to do that much damage. Right, so we are good for now. We're gonna head back to where we started with our new tier 1 armor and an Ifrit. Right, so don't forget you can reactivate the turrets if they are on cooldown, and the cooldown is expired. You don't need to expand a multi-tool for them, you can just go up close to them if they have already been activated once. And like along the way you will see like the bloat, I don't know what those are, eggs or spawn or goo, whatever it is, like if they are in places where it can pose a danger to you, don't forget to destroy it as well. Okay, single crawler, not gonna waste ammo.
See? That there was the edge of them.
Okay, never mind. A bit hairy, burn them all down. Thank you, engineer skills.
아까 된 아차구들이.
Really bad use of Z time actually, there's no Zs to kill, but whatever, I'll take it. Do see Gorfas coming from the bottom. Us there at the side. Surprise siren. Okay, there's gonna be a script coming out here. Right, he is there already. Let's make sure your coast is clear. Give a... So always keep an eye on your back and make sure that you're well covered. Script is being played with by the turret. I'm gonna lace him down while I can. Never mind. Probably gonna heal after this. I'm gonna use this off. Squig's still alive. Not for long though. Okay, I'm gonna use my door lock here. Oh, that was wasted. Right, so just be careful when you do use the door lock there sometimes and you open it at a bad timing. Especially when like the door busters like the heavies are going through. Like, you know, you can just waste them entirely. Okay, nice execute in a very good spot. No other heavy enemies around. We'll go for this. Good kills. 20 enemies and Z time. Switch back to primary. Pulls down the remaining fodder. Bring the bullets. So I really do wish they would allow you to repair the door frames, but I can't really do that. Taking too much damage. Gonna start running. Dodge that. Should take the zipline out. Okay, so 15 enemies left. No danger of any more enemies spawning. They're all there already. Let's go ahead and just finish off the rest of them. We don't really need to watch our back. I'm pretty sure all 10 plus enemies are in front of us already. Dash the script as always. Oh, there's one more script behind him. There's a Haas behind. I can't really see it. I think I got it? Yeah, I got it. Oh, I have a door lock here. Nice to have. Alright. There we go. One more script down. 2 sirens at the back. Gonna stun lock him. And there we go. Wave 2 done. Okay, so I did have to use 2 doors just for that. Not the best performance, but well, you know, it's better than just outright dying. So since we're here, let's just use the remaining door locks. I'm gonna switch back to the multi-tool after this, just to get more turrets and ammo lockers open. So usually the waves that I'm most concerned about is waves 4 and 5 in particular. I'm not too worried about wave 3 or the boss wave because, you know, if you've been playing enough, like dodging them isn't hard. Right, so we're gonna go straight for our basically end game, one of our end game weapons, the boss Ifrit. So I have this like kind of max out for boss damage. The mods on the barrel and the receiver is kind of whatever. You can put whatever you want on it. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Alright, gonna get some armor back. Get this. Shingers back as well. Switch back to the multi-tool. Alright, and full resupply since we have cash. I probably should not have done that. Probably should have, you know, done the multi-tools properly, but whatever. Okay, I do want to open that shortcut. I can't for the life of me remember where it was though. Right here, I think the door is here. Right here, there we go. Alright. Just remember there's an armor locker here, and actually that's it. It's just for the armor crate. Okay, alright, that's fine. Oh, there we go, another bio still. Get it. And let's get back into position before the enemies start pouring in.
Everyone finished shopping? Well, you are now.
Always clear this out. Okay, I do see my Z-time meter is almost fully charged. I want to make use of that. But in early game, probably not that useful just yet. So as the enemies flow up, save some ammo, parry that. Okay, one more enemy. Z-time's gonna come. Right, now. Gonna zoom in a little bit. I do get bonus damage from the zoom. Not the best use of that time, but yeah, it's always good to have it to clear all the trash enemies. Okay, first splash round. Alright, mark him here. Do think I can burst him down before any other enemies come. Not enough. Okay. Oh shit, where did this guy come from? Script. Ouch. Where is that script? Oh, I see him there. Let's not enrage him for now. Let's just leave him as it is. Get this turret back up. Clear that load. It's going to be annoying. Siren, maybe? I really don't know where that script. Oh, there he is. Okay, so now we focus on the script. During that time, we are less prone to getting surrounded. That's all my damage in. Probably can't kill him just yet. Do have my skill. Gonna heal up. Probably should not have wasted it there, but you know, it's kind of an oh shit button. Now I run. They hear a flashbang coming as well. Flashbang's behind me. Let the turret deal some with this. Try to get a barrel there. It's probably a bad move. Okay, force to use this lock. You up here as well. Turret up. Got a grenade here too. Okay, I'm gonna hold here for a little bit. Don't think I want. Never mind. I do need to run. Right, so yeah, things like that. When those things do happen, try to get out of there as soon as you can. I think the flash round is stuck. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Great game by. Some free armor. For that. Okay, and there's the one last clot somewhere in the mix. Okay, alright, don't need to worry about that. Oh god, please don't tell me it's stuck. Can I even reach him? Son of a bitch. Oh my god, I think it's out of position.
Armor here. Who wants it?
Let's see if I can get him to teleport out. It's very unfortunate it happened now, but well, it is what it is. Oh, good, I see him moving, that's good. You're a path to me, I can get rid of you. So yeah, sometimes when they do that, you know, I haven't seen it. Actually, I haven't seen like any like progression stoppers where like they get stuck and they're there permanently. Like sometimes just moving on the map, moving to a different location can force them to teleport to a new spawn entry. There was like one on the crawlers on officers, like where he was stuck in the ceiling and I just swapped to the Vulcan alternate fire, flaming a little bit, and he was free after that. But yeah, for the most part, in the worst case scenario, you can just jump off like tall areas and just kill yourself with like grenades and whatnot, assuming you're not playing commando with the grenade damage reduction just to get your progression for the round, even if you don't manage to win it. Okay, so that now we are here, we do have enough for our last armor upgrade, and that's pretty much all we're needing. You're approaching the penultimate minion wave before the bosses, and these two waves are going to be the most dangerous here. Thinking about it, I probably do want to go for more door locks. They do save my ass a pinch, and I want to... Door here is expired, I can't use that. We're good. This here. Any more doors that I can use? I don't remember for the life of me. I actually don't think there's that many in sewers. So I have the armor crate open here. I have like kind of most of the important turrets open. I don't think I've opened the shortcut door yet. That one might be handy. A pinch. Oh, one more door here. Nice. Right, any other doors? I don't think so. Alright, so we're going back there again once more. So I'll try to take on a little less health damage, but now that I have the tier 4 armor, it's going to give me 30% resistance. That's kind of nice to have. Okay, so yeah, let's see how this goes. 95 enemies, and that time's almost ready. Once again, I'm going to try to kite the wave for a little bit. And they usually like to backload the enemies in the sense that the heavier enemies are going to spawn in force in the last 10 or 20% of the wave. So yeah, you do want to keep your resources, especially your strangers, ready for those later in the wave. So don't burn them up, don't take on unnecessary damage in the early wave. Unfortunate use was that time I didn't get to do anything, and of course I get ambushed by this random crawler out of nowhere. First Griggs here, pass that, get them out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run here. Getting a little bit too hot for what I'm liking. Give this guy a grenade. Right. Not get in the way of that hook. Always make sure your escape route is secure. I do not have a multi-tool for that. Thought that was rare for a second. It sticks. My grenades here.
I win.
Gonna pop this here. Get out of bad location. Get out the trash. Go on to it for a little more. Hopefully I can get some stuns in. No luck. It's fine. Oh. It is a kind of pretty good execute spot, but I do want to get the Haas fill. No luck on that. Choice. Yeah, so executing just that time. Not a good use of resources, but whatever. Alright, so kind of got into the unfortunate spot where the better location is the way I came from, but I'll take that. Do hear another flashbound somewhere. Make sure to dodge slides. Time your dodges, make sure you don't get hit unnecessarily. Okay, maximize damage window, get as much in as possible. We can get this turret back online. One down. Start running this way instead. Turret here is active now. That's my other strange. Okay, I'm gonna start running up this way off the ladder. Yeah, so just a little bit risky, but yeah, can make it here. And the flashbounds, they do move really fucking fast. Right, one more down. But yeah, actually, they do move fast, but like compared to the Skrigs, less of a threat if you have the Ifrit. Electric damage is really strong against them. Make sure your back is clear, there's only 9 left. Skrig there, annoying. Then deal with the flashbomb first. Yeah, Siren there, I'm not gonna go close. Okay, thank you Flashbomb for killing stuff for me. Okay, get him down, switch to primary. Gonna clear the Siren first. The Skrig, there's one more Flashbomb there as well.
The turret's now on.
Alright, so last 2 enemies with wave, not too scared. Flashbound is stuck behind the Skrig. Fuck it, let's just kill him. Alright, so I'm thinking...
Time to fill up your shopping carts, folks.
Oh yes, I have opened it already. Okay, I'm gonna crate here, one more turret here I haven't activated yet. So going for that. I do have a couple of other door locks, I think. Haven't used. Yeah, I unfortunately can't use the rest of my door locks. I wish they would give us some way to repair this, but whatever.
Feel that? The steel is a 59.
And I can probably transition to the shock traps, so maybe the ammo bag or strange bags, really whatever you want. But for now, just maximize more. So as you can see, like money isn't a problem at Hell enough. You get plenty enough. By the end of wave 5, I'll probably have maybe 6,000-7,000 on hand. That's enough to easily get me a second weapon of choice if you want to go for the Vulcan or whatever it is. Doesn't really matter. For now, I'll just stick to Ifrit. That's kind of like all I need. And I do have like 30 seconds more. You can use this to, you know, get your supplies up, open your tools, open that turret I was talking about earlier, which I promptly forgot about. And don't forget your mantling. I know the animation is kind of janky, but yeah, just make sure use all the resources you have at your disposal, and you know, don't underestimate time in between waves. That's also a resource that you can make use of. Alright, and that will be it for now. So I do need to remember my escape path. Right, instead of taking the zip line, maybe that's a little too risky. I can probably go right down here and through that set of door locks that I have there.
Hey.
The right here is still active, that's good. This one's still on cooldown, 25
That's all,
seconds.
folks.
Worries. Right, so at least my Z time isn't close to max now, so I can kill shit with Reckless Abandon. Reckless Abandon, goddamn my pronunciation sometimes. Okay, that's down, 2 bloats. Get rid of those. Still reload when you can. Wish the crawlers made more sounds. And when they die, I wish it was more obvious that they were fucking dead, because sometimes they blend in with the dead ones blend in with the ones that are actually still alive. It's really annoying. Okay, I'm gonna stun lock him with the electric damage. Good, he's dead. Oh, where the Squig is though. Lost only armor so far for the bloat, that's fine. Dash. No, I missed my bash, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna go straight for the door lock now. Good. Perfect set time. Dash round is dead. Scrag is still alive. Damage window in. Dead. Okay, good. Flash mobs. Fan them off. Siren. Fan them off. And don't forget escape route. So I think the one nice thing about this shortcut is that it's a dead end. I don't think the Zeds can spawn in there. Never mind, they just broke down the door. Fuck that. Gonna run for now. Have a turret on standby. Knife this guy here. Get in trash mobs. Kill those. Get some damage in. Still have my skill that I have not used yet. In a pinch. It's fine. Let's just kite some more for now.
Dominating the field.
Please don't hook me when I'm mid-air. Thank you. Drop some grenades to just give them. Okay, I think now's a good time. So like when you get cornered or when you're in the pinch, it's always a good time to hit your oh shit button. Maximize my damage dealing. I really hate Husk sometimes. Still have 30 plus enemies. Okay, never mind that. I'm gonna go for the damage potential. Where's that guy going? I have no idea. And that's it. Bad use. Need to run though. Okay, so they're always spawning at the closest spawn spot they can find you. Right now it's a good time for the fans. Get out, get rid of that. One Scrig. Could have been better use, I'll take it. 25 enemies there, Scrig there, Flashpound there. Small. Go. Get the trash enemies. 2 Flashpounds. Swap to my electric. Thank you for stun locking them. Where the Scrig or the Flashpound gonna drop. The Scrig and they're going through the shortcut that they made, not for me. Just want to get rid of the Flashpounds. They are slightly faster than the Scrigs. Not annoying to deal with, but mask again. Q here. So if you had the Vulcan, you can probably just like, you know, damage your entire way through all of them. Just like stun lock them, burst them down with like charge shots and stuff. I don't have that. Just do some hit affliction on the Squigs just to keep them down. My skill is almost back up again. Ouch. I think that's one Flashpound down. This up. Use it here, fuck it. So if you just time your dodges, especially when you're dealing multiple sets, don't take all the hits at the same time. Okay, there's one more Flashpound down, bunch of Haas behind, one more Scrig. There we go. Gonna bash him, not execute, but whatever. Should give me a good leeway, stun that Siren. Good, everything died to the execute. There we go. be the last wave, and now we just have to worry about the boss. Okay, so I don't need my multi-tools anymore. We're gonna go for maybe something with a little more utility. I do think at this point, shock traps, nice to have, especially for the impalers if you're playing on multiplayer, but for me, solo, I don't really need them. House Leos, not too sure. Again, on solo, not really that use. So probably go for Strange Backs. It's the best thing, my best value for money right now. Go full refill, and I have pretty much, like as mentioned, 7,000 plus dodge to play around with. So what I'm gonna do here is I do need an alternative for damage dealing on the Chimera. I do have like a freezing G33 setup it has, but it's kind of like a meme. It freezes everything, but you know, 8 magazine capacity, 3 daily resupply that is not fully upgraded. Maybe something with force, maybe explosive. I think I'll go with this, just because why not? Let's just maximize the capacity. So, and the rest of the money is for resupplies. So, straight up when we begin the boss wave, the first thing you want to do is, you know, utilize the remainder of your time to activate all the turrets. You don't really want to do this like as you're running because, you know, it does take quite a lot of inputs, and, you know, rightfully if it's not bugged, it does take some time to activate. Alright, and don't forget the positioning of your armor crates on the map, how to kite around. If you're dealing on multiplayer like the Impalers, if there's 3 of them, it might be a little hairy, especially if you're all running opposite directions. But yeah, Impaler is actually one of the easier bosses to deal with once you get used to them. Right. And on multiplayer, everyone's going to be running Vulcan anyway. You're going to burst one of them down as fast as possible. Okay, right. So for the solo fight, he's weak to electric. That's why the Ifrit is a good choice. Don't forget to use your pings as well. Gives a good marker of where they are. And try to hit him in where it hurts. Okay, hit him in the leg weak spots, because in phase 2 he's going to use those to shoot missiles at you. Alright, make sure to not stay in the line of fire. And he jumps. Just kite around like the obstacles. Close range. Ow, ow. Okay, mistakes from it. I really hate the swapping animation though. Like when you animation cancel your swap from the strange shields, it does like screw with your which primary you have out on hand. Okay, so apparently that doesn't suffice for enough cover, so I probably want to play around the walls instead. This should be a little bit better. Don't forget to drop your strange bags. Use one of them since I use. Right, off. That's annoying. Okay, since it smoked up the area, it's going to... Not sure if it clears out after some time. Let's just create some space, if you would let me. Thank you. Okay, I have one of his weak spots exposed. That's good. I will be trying to expose the second one, so it's easier to take it down for the second wave. I mean, sorry, the second phase, not the second wave. Don't like where I am. I'm low on health. Taking too much damage for that. Let's make a run for it for now. Okay, good. Z time's up. So I do believe like Z time triggers when like you do weak spot damage on the boss wave, because like if there are no minions like with the Impaler, there's no way to recover your Z time. So I think they probably change the mechanics later. I'm not too sure about this. Yeah, for now, let's just keep kiting and running. So maintain a distance. There's no need to fight him up close and personal like you saw what I was trying to do. You just kite around and run. And if I need my armor back, I'm going to pop my skill. Which I should probably do now actually. Why not? Oh, boom, here we go. Taking a little bit of chip damage, it's fine. He was in phase 2 now, and while he's here, make sure to ping again. Okay, did not manage to destroy any spots, that is fine. In sewers, you have plenty of room to kite around and make room for yourself. So if he ever uses the missile attack, as long as you're not in a very exposed position like this, you can basically run out of it. Alright, so there we go, that's his exposed attack. If you break line of sight before he launches, he will stop his attack immediately. But otherwise, just keep running. So, come to think of it actually, I'm not too sure whether I want him to like, you know, stay in this. So he launches, dodge it. Actually, I may opt to just leave his weak spots exposed, because, you know, when you destroy his leg launches, he just goes into full melee mode. And for a class like the engineer, where, you know, I don't really have high damage as compared to something like, you know, the Commando or the Berserker. Not the Berserker, sorry, the Commando and the Sharpshooter. I may just go for a prolonged fight with him. So instead of hitting his weak spots, I'm just going to be trying to go for regular hit shots or the weak spots on his back. A little bit of screw up there. Again, don't put yourself in a position where you can get cornered out. Moving a little bit too fast for my liking. Can't see shit. Okay, good. Smoke all you want. Oh, there we go. Always break a line of sight. Protect off. Okay, I did take out one weak spot, so that's good. And that's the second weak spot down. Okay, so now he's gonna become ultra annoying. He's gonna go full melee.
Mark it for you. I've put it on the map.
I do have my skill coming up soon again, but I do want to save on my stringers. I don't want to risk it now. Okay, since we're here, just spam it off. No need to save it, just skip him. Ow, ow. How did it not hit me in the second one? I have no idea. Okay, almost on the last few percent, right? And let's just finish him off. Alright, so there we go. Engineer fight on Sewers. Honestly, not as hard as you think it might be. It does take some getting used to, but yeah. And if you have the Vulcan, way easier. And I pretty much just used like the Ifrit for the entire game. Alright, so there you have it. And I will just show the scoreboard briefly and run through the skills and the mods that I use on weapons. Definitely not the most ideal because I have not had enough time to farm for more proficiency on the other skills. Right. But yeah, as in this is what I picked starting out with. I do think it's decent, it's good enough, and clearly you can get a win out of it on Hell on Earth. Alright, so level 2, basically 2 up. This is amazing for early game, mid game, or just prepping your way through the wave. Depending on the map, you can make much value out of this. Like for example, R&D labs, you can just like spam the hell out of your door locks on almost every single door and just like cat them through the whole map. That's why like R&D lab is one of the easier ones. The other one, it's kind of like okay, but at the same time, you know, it's when you have this, the first thing like the engineer runs out of usually isn't strange. It isn't armor, it's strangers. So I don't really think you need this, but having this, like being able to regenerate your tools on demand is really nice. Right, for throwables, honestly speaking, for the whole tier, right, I'm kind of indifferent. Like as you can see, it's actually the last things I upgrade on my engineer tiers because throwables are expensive. It costs you $200 per grenade, and for the engineer, you can't regenerate these grenades. You have to buy them with the trader each round. So honestly, pick whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so I won't elaborate too much on this. So let's go on to the next passive. Alright, so I'm aware that the meta pick for shotguns, the tier 1 and tier 2 options will probably be Hole Punch, right? Or am I looking at Hole Punch or Major Damage for more stumble? So again, you know, sort of mix and match. I did make kind of like a mistake picking this on the first one. It does like make Husk easier to kill on the first shot because usually you just one shot the tank on the back. But I don't really remember what my thought process was going to this. I just went for the one that seemed like it had the highest magnitude. But I think the most meta will be either of the other two. Penetration is always nice for hot clear. If not, you can go for more damage, consistent damage and stumble, which is majorly helpful for the tankier Zeds, especially the Scrakes and Flash Pounds. So for level 14, armor is king. If you want more mobility, well, this is the problem with this is that this is conditional, right? And this isn't. So, and like it does give you that ability to basically prevent a stumble or prevent a grab, which is nice, but not really that useful. But I think the main thing is just the armor. Right, and for level 20, right, so yeah, sorry, this is the one I was confused with earlier. This is the one, if you have your tier 1 and tier 2, you want to max this out. This gives you plus 5 more pellets, and that's basically double damage on your Bone Breaker tier 2. I personally was not a fan because at the early game when I started with it, I didn't really upgrade it that much, so I went with the Ifrit instead, and I basically the G33 and the Ifrit, so I just basically went for this. And I mean, it does honestly take whatever you want. Any of this works. It depends on which weapons are your favorite. Right? It isn't really a hard and fast rule. And lastly, well, rarely team play maybe, yeah, but here for this case, I think just having that a little bit more crowd control capability, I think this is identical to the one for the Firebug. This is probably nicer to have. And it does like pay dividends when you're clearing like trash hot, especially there are heavy Zeds in the midst of it. They do take chip damage from this. Middle one, well, you wouldn't want to be taking damage to deal more damage. I think that's too punishing, so not the best of options, but can probably see a kind of like a bash oriented build working out around this. It's just that for the engineer, he is strapped for health most of the time. So yeah, on Hell on Earth, probably not going to work out, much less on multiplayer, 6-player Hell on Earth. So yeah, that's the passive we're talking about. For the gadgets, I personally went with, armor replenishment. That's king in this game. You're basically a free way to get your resources back over time in the middle of a wave. For this one, I'm not too sure which is better, honestly. It does feel like the hitbox for the projectile from the ability can be a little bit wonky sometimes. So yeah, kind of whatever. Kind of nonchalant to whatever you want to pick here. Right, so, and for this, I probably would have gone for penetration if I understood this a little better, but since it is what it is and I picked the damage resistance, I just make use of this by staying in the mode for a little longer so I can tank a bit more hits. But that being said, 30% damage sustained over time still can make up for a lot. It just makes you a little bit slightly more tankier during boss rounds. But I'll argue that the Firebug is a much better tank with how she's able to replenish her health as well, for free without using like strangers or additional resources. Alright, so then for level 24, alright, so this would have been nice if I used it more aggressively. I did not really play it that well, other than the boss wave when I done my Strange Backs. But, and did I even use my gadget? Actually, I don't recall at this point in time, but yeah. I think this would be nice if you're actively kiting and like activating more turrets, dropping your supplies, so on and so forth. Otherwise, again, it's kind of like a, either one, it doesn't really matter, it just depends on your execution and how you play it. And for the last one, I think Reverb Paddle is the strong contender in this because your Sonic Storm projectiles are directional, the initial ones, but this gives you your crowd clearing opportunity. Like, if you're using this without the Reverb Paddle, you only can shoot straight in front of you, but this basically clears all the trash mobs around you, which is really, really nice. So 320 damage, enough to clear your clots, crawlers, Gorfas, and of course, again, chip damage to the heavier Zeds, medium and heavier Zeds. Confuse probably good as well. Again, case by case basis, really depends on how you're playing. I did prefer this, but I think I do see a use case for having Confuse, especially if you're dealing with a heavier Zed wave. You want them to clear out the trash mobs or start attacking each other instead, that'll be much nicer. And yeah, the last one, compared to the other two, is kind of meh. So yeah, that's the skills in a nutshell. Over time, as I get more proficiency points, I'll probably max out the rest and experiment a bit more, but this is probably what I'll go with for now. Right, so for Armory, let's just show the being better shotgun. Just pick whatever, honestly. 2 mods, you don't need to use purples, don't waste a precious icon for leveling them up. For tier 2, again, you don't need to go for fletchered rounds, you probably go for like explosive or incendiary. I think explosive is pretty much a strong one right now, at the cost of damage. Right, but fletchers is kind of nice because of the penetration power, but again, I don't think it's enough on its own, even at purple tier. Right, so yeah, it's just pick whatever. And then purple suppressors, laser sight, black sight, or a side of your choice, whichever you want. Right, and then magazine if you want, but I purposely devised this to have enough dodge cost to basically take up my entire operational capacity on wave 0. Right, and then for tier 3, the freezing G33, this is kind of like a meme that I didn't fully upgrade in terms of like daily resupply. Probably can swap this for other. I heard like Enfilibling is pretty good for multiplayer, especially. Confusion does make them all attack each other. That's really nice for CC. Oh, sorry, no, it's the other way around. And fleeing slows them down, and confusion makes them attack each other. Yeah, but again, pick whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. And then of course the rest, it's your standards. Affliction amplifier is always nice, and your cylinders and stuff, right? So the key contender is the Ifrit, fast focus array. Ignore the bonus ability. This is whatever. This is just there for the ammo efficiency. And the main one is your the boss killing Ifrit. So I did pick one with the 5% damage on the grip side and the magazine, just for more damage to bosses. So I personally spec this out for more primary, which comes from your receiver, because I did feel that I didn't really need much help on the secondary. What I need help with was the primary. But of course, over time, if my preferences change, I may end up going for the one that boosts your secondary damage instead. But yeah, well, again, all this subjective personal preferences, really up to you how you want to build around it. I guess all in all is, for Hell on Earth, just know that dodge isn't really much of a concern anymore. Right, so that will be the engineer class, arguably one of the harder maps on Killing Floor 3 as of now, and that will be it. So any comments, feel free to leave it at the bottom. Apologies if my pronunciation wasn't clear enough. Hopefully I did enunciate the important pointers properly, and hopefully you learned something from this video, right? And that will be all. Peace out.